Eldritch horrors stir in their sleep, threatening to tear the world asunder, and it is up to us to banish them, to buy humanity some more time. City of Shirakawa, Japan, 1980s. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your adrenaline sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand and you've finally arrived in the doomed town. Aiko Takahashi, swimming team captain. Barely surviving after a ghost of a drowned man kept her underwater, she's determined to solve this mystery. Somewhere a group of people gathers, trying to awaken their master. Kefak Atarazu is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. Stop it before it devours us all. The captain of the swimming team, Aiko Takahashi, had a brush with death after a ghost of a drowned man tried to keep her underwater. She took note of 5 mysterious happenings, and under observation of unknown forces, someone standing in the shadow watching your door, begins her journey into the eldritch horror taking hold of the town. Horrible history of household hell. There are many old mansions around this town. Blank Manor is one of them, supposedly haunted by a family of 4 who disappeared without a trace one summer. But is it the only tragic event that took place there? Friends you've talked with are not sure where the mansion itself is located. You have to find the mansion first. A trip to the library might shed some light on it. To start off, we take a trip to the seaside cliffs, where the mansion supposedly stands. Here we run into a person trying to sacrifice themselves to the ocean. The ocean is hungry. You're stopped by a person with a knife. They look incredibly sad. Wants me. I'm afraid I'm too much of a coward to do it myself. Can you help me? Talk them out of it. Charisma check success. After long conversation, they hand you the knife and thank you. With an overgrown spider feasting on its last meal. You wonder what kind of animal the spider caught in its web. Scare away the annoyed predator and rip open the cocoon to reveal human finger. With the insight gained in the area the mansion is supposedly built in, we head to the school library and look for some more books that could help us. Getting access to the student database would certainly speed up your investigation, but the receptionist would never allow it. Only there was a way to make her go away for a while. Talk to her. Charisma check success. Unannounced inspection, she asks. Thank you for telling me. While the receptionist is busy updating some borrowing papers, you copy the names and addresses from the database. After distracting the receptionists, we discover the location of the mansion in an old newspaper. We drop some cash on gambling with a dog, and then, pushing through the unnerving feeling that something is wrong, continue our investigation. A short chat with some local fishermen later, we make it into the mansion and begin exploring it room by room. We come face to face with a hole-ridden thing, and in the ensuing combat we end up contracting its curse. In one of the rooms we come across a stone pillar, and in another get attacked by a mannequin. Then we enter the study room, where we find a hidden trapdoor. You're unsure what to expect. The sturdy door to the study opens with a creak. The dark, dusty room is empty, but something feels wrong. Faint draft, perhaps? Move the rotten carpet aside to reveal a secret passageway cut directly into the cliff rock. Make your way down. Following a strange song, you discover a hidden passage that leads to an underground chamber connected to the sea. Can't find the source of the sounds, but then it hits you. The acoustic of this place makes the waves sound like the most beautiful serenade. Mesmerized, you step closer to the stone altar at the end of the room. Unable to withstand the siren song, we step closer to the altar. Unholy chants coming from the caves connected to the mansion must have driven the family insane. No connection to the outside world, they fed on what they had. Themselves. However, this doesn't explain the fresh corpses and red tracks around the altar. The next morning we find even more holes of the non-pleasurable kind on our body, and with the roads out of town now closed, our travel time to the outskirts is further increased. First case solved, we find a key in our mailbox, take a moment to relax, and then move on to the second one. Chilling chronicle of a Crimson Cape. A new game is spreading among your friends. A dare to stay in the unused school restrooms after classes. A dare to meet Akamanto. So originally harmless fun has turned deadly. The body of a boy was found last week. The school principal has banned the game, but has only made it more popular. Akamanto must be stopped before another kid is killed. Before getting into the depths of the investigation, we head to the local hospital hoping to solve our spreading hole problem. After a short wait time, we meet a doctor who disappointingly has no solution for our issue, so we'll just have to suffer this curse for the foreseeable future. After wasting our time, we head to the schoolyard and recruit an accomplice for a march into madness, and then actually begin a second investigation. We help the school to unclog a drain and continue gathering information about the case. One of the articles mentions a young doctor who performed a life-saving surgery on a victim of brutal assault. The assault happened in the toilet stall. Maybe he still works at the hospital and can share some information. Before stumbling into an unsettling encounter with some dream stands. As you glance around, you notice that more and more people are wearing strange masks, unlike anything you've ever seen before. As you turn to your friends for reassurance, you notice that some also wear these eerie masks. The voices sound muffled and distorted, and you can't shake out the feeling that they're not quite themselves. The hairs on the back of your head, the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. You realize something is terribly wrong. You can't help but wonder what lies behind the masks to conceal the faces of the people around you. Are these even the people they claim to be, or are they not just masquerading as something they are not, hiding its true identities behind the mask that they wear? You learn that the doctor suddenly left the hospital after the latest murder, taking all of the records with him. Why would he do that? It's not the only bad news. A friend didn't come to school today, and another body has supposedly been found. There's no turning back now. You step into the last stall and close the door behind you. Wait in the stall, trying to be as quiet as possible. Suddenly, squish, squeak. You hear the sound of raw boots as unknown liquid drips on the tiles. Squish, squeak. You see the top of his head. It's taller than any man you've ever seen. Squish, squeak. Door slowly opens. Prepare yourself. A masked man dressed in red coat, clearly too tall for the ceiling, emerges from outside. Tell me. His voice sounds like a 4G radio. Would you like red paper or blue paper? You click coming from the door's direction. You're locked in there with the crazy man. An exorcism by steel later, we managed to put another case behind us, granting a second key. Blood flowing from the wounds in the tall man's red coat makes it look like the man is slowly melting. You hear cackling coming from behind the mask and faint. When we wake up, he's gone. Somehow you know he will be back in another stall, another school, another city, continuing the horror. Panic is starting to spread in town, and people are stockpiling toilet paper, making the prices of goods skyrocket. But we are too poor to care either way, so we just take on the next case. Spine-chilling story of school scissors. Another boy from his school has disappeared. Rumor has it a terrible woman has returned from the grave. A woman with the widest smile and the sharpest scissors. You knew your friend was up to something when he left you his notebook full of cryptic notes and sent her back where she belongs, he claimed. After he too disappeared, you decide to study a notebook for clues. Details a ritual that claims to stop the wicked woman once and for all. What's the worst thing that could happen? We take a moment telling our friend about sunken cities, cliffside holes and gay frogs, and manage to secure another ally. We also realize that the other one was only holding us back, and so decide to get rid of her. Taking a look into our friend's diary, we learn the basics of the ritual. Sigil can weaken the demon for a while. Careful with the lines. Maru is acting strange. Need to talk with her after class. I hope she didn't attempt the ritual herself. Pin the candles in one of the classrooms. Tomorrow I'll try to perform the ritual. Not having learned our lesson with holes, we reach into one and wind up with a nasty spider bite, which soon turns into an infected wound. In the school pool we find a floating backpack, but before we can grab it, the bloated corpse of a teacher attacks us. Having put this very personal encounter behind us, we head back to the classroom with the blessed chalk now secured, and draw the sigil on the blackboard. While searching for the holy candles, we use the opportunity of being alone in school to commit some surprise communism on the trophy cabinet for some additional funds. Then we're forced to fight some failed science project for the candles and a lump of its flesh. We just barely manage to set up the candles before the scissor woman appears at the classroom door. Wait, what's that? Take a step back as arriving amorphous mass slowly takes shape. Soon it becomes a tall woman-like creature with 3 faces all connected by a wide smile. And now it is your chance to fight and defeat this horror. It's also your only chance. Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? The ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. Find your friend gravely wounded, but alive. You get them up and both of you limp away from the school as the police sirens get louder. It says the woman is gone for good. Or is she? Shudder knowing the urban legend will inspire another kid in another city to try and summon the eldritch being. Finishing up another case, we find our friendly neighborhood arms dealer seems to have abandoned town. Resisting the urge to follow him, we instead begin investigating the next case. Freaky feature of found footage. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends in a nearby forest. Take another trip to a hospital, which proves far more useful in handling non-curse related afflictions. While exploring the living places of the local elite, we learn of a witch who was buried alive for abducting children. We then pick up the missing kid's notes at school, which leads us to a village outside of town. While waiting for the bus to arrive, boredom begins to consume us, and we decide to fight it off by exploring some unused holes, leaving us with another nasty infection. Leads from the village bring us into the nearby forest. Here we delve further and further into the woods, finding some bad omens along the way. Drooping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in an almost macabre way. It's almost inspiring. Get a grip. Quicken your pace and leave the menacing path until we arrive at the witch's house. The room at witch's house seems empty. In the basement, however, we find a camera pointed at a large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of your missing friends. Can you hear a curious sound coming from the hole? Let's peek inside. Kneel down and lean forward to see what's inside the hole. It takes a while to process what you are looking at. It's a gigantic eye staring right at you. Hypnotized, you continue to lean in, feeling weaker and weaker as the gargantuan beast lures you in. Lose consciousness. Very last moment, the suspicious tall man grabs you by the collar. Explains he's part of the cult protecting the house and the mysterious entity below it. Got a bigger purpose than to die here, he says before knocking you out. You wake up a few hours later on a bus heading back to your town. The day consumed by the eldritch beast, you set out investigating the 5th and last case. Bloody brief of a beckoning bulletin. As the decades roll on, technology has only developed further. These days, computer bulletin board software allows computers to communicate over phone lines. All it takes is a computer and a modem, and anybody can connect to a bulletin system or even host one of their own. Once you connect, you can read all of the messages on a bulletin and even post your own to start a conversation. Many use them to share files or to chat about their favorite topics, everything from video games to sports to idol culture. In the wake of the sudden string of weird suicides, things aren't all fun and games. Rumors have surfaced that the deaths are linked to the bulletin system operated from somewhere within Shiokawa. What's behind the suicides? How could so many people all have been driven to take their own lives? In the nearby forest you find the body of a student clutching a note. A right is for everyone wanting to stay behind. Sacrifice is worth it. Life's meaning comes from our relationships. Share death and that connection will outlast you. There won't be anything left but us. Everyone here is waiting for you. So if you lose your resolve, just listen to the voice of humanity. Not having a computer of our own, we head to the school library to begin our investigation. Though the school can't help us much, we managed to find a fellow student who's willing to help out. We seem to be on the right track with our investigation as we discovered a threat from someone unknown to us. After setting up the computer in our apartment, we hear the death toll keeps increasing and the phenomenon has spread to nearby towns. We head to the local hospital where we overhear 2 nurses talking about the survivor and then hurry to follow this fresh lead. You have to do what it tells you, trust me, you won't regret a thing. She beams at you as her grandmother struggles to make her swallow the pain medication. I'll be back to join you all soon, wait for me, okay? It's frightened to give their grandparents your phone number and hastily leave. On our way back, we take a short break from our investigation, only to find a sushi shop that definitely doesn't follow local health codes. With the number code we got from the girl, we connect to the website. Welcome home. Did you like it so far? Yes, no. No. It's okay. You don't have to be ready yet. Everyone will wait for you. Continue. Disconnected. Connection suddenly cuts off. When you attempt to reconnect, you find that your number has been blocked from accessing the bulletin. Check that you solemnly pack up the computer to give it back. However, when you arrive back to the computer club, you find a note. Door, see you all soon. Soon learn the club's members leaped in front of a train, holding hands. A little ladder shows you sell off the computer, guilt weighing on you all the while. Find the bulletin's number in the phone book. When you arrive at the address, find the place empty. The bulletin was moved. Out of desperation, police begin confiscating modems, banning students from computer use. Despite this, the suicides only seem to grow faster. They spread even further beyond Shiokawa too. You get twists and knots every time you pass by the computer club store. The last case finished and the fifth key in our hand, no other course remains than to finish this. Thoroughly exhausted in both mind and body, we head to the local lighthouse. It casts its ominous shadow over the town. We use the keys we got to unlock the door and begin to ascend the stairs, making our way through all the obstacles trying to prevent us from reaching the top. Following the winding staircase you are... Stop. Wait a minute. Someone broke into your apartment, stowed all the clues and newspaper clippings and pinned them there. The more you study them, you discover you can't remember any of them, except one. Select the title of the second mystery you investigated. I guess there's one correct answer. You rip your newspaper clipping off the case you seem to remember. Underneath it is a tiny button. You press it and with buzz the gate opens. We finally managed to find the ritual site that started this whole series of events, and we managed to banish the Eldritch God. The natural fog slowly lifts. We're relieved and collapsed on the floor. Next day, everything feels like a bad dream. We've managed to stop the ritual, awakening the Eldritch Old God. But what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right once more. Congratulations, you're safe for now.